God for you isn't even a magical dude in the sky.
No, it's an algorithm. You can't even spell the word belief without the word lie. If you believe something, it's privy to be false.
Let's say the Earth's flat.
It's not completely flat.
Is it a square? Is it a rectangle?
It doesn't exist objectively.
Then where the hell do we live, you
Please subscribe.
So, I made a short on this guy back in November and it got over 1 million views. So when one of you filled in the form, which is in the description below, and sent me the full interview, I thought, well, it would be rude not to, wouldn't it? So let's have a look and see what this genius has got to say for himself.
Shut up and sit down, you big bald f***.
You can't even spell the word belief without the word lie, yeah? B-E-L-I-E-F, yeah? So if you believe something, it's privy to be false because you don't know it, you just believe it. A belief is like blind faith.
Well, some people believe that a belief is always based on blind faith, yeah. Like believing in a talking teapot that only you can see.
All right, Chip, now that'll do.
Although that could just be me.
While others argue that beliefs can be based on evidence and reason, like believing or being able to accept that the Earth is round because you've seen pictures of it from space. So it's a little bit of a mixed bag, really.
So in my mind, you drop all belief and then you piece the reality together based on what you know as fact for yourself.
Hello? Where is everybody? I'm the only brain cell left.
Then why are you a flat earther? Because I promise you, you have not seen anything that would suggest that we live on a flat earth. It's flat because it looks flat to me, doesn't cut it anymore.
Not because Dave wrote a book and he says this. That's fair enough. You can use the book to inspire you to then recognize something yourself. But you can't base your whole reality on what some other person's written in a book, some other human the same as you has written in a book.
What, so all the astrophysicists that study this sort of thing have been wrong all these years? So what you're saying is that you wouldn't trust a book that says the Earth is round, so I suppose then you wouldn't trust GPS or satellite imagery either. Or, you know, any scientific instrument ever invented because of books. Now, clearly, the only way to know the Earth's shape is to, oh, I don't know, sail to the edge and fall off, maybe? Or just trust what some other person wrote in their book about how the Earth is flat. Oh, no, we can't do that now, can we? Because, you know, books are lies.
Do we have any facts about anything?
Yeah.
Is anything fact?
Hot is hot, cold is cold.
Ah, yes, the profound wisdom of hot is hot and cold is cold. Truly a scientific mind at work. So I suppose by that logic, wet is wet and gravity's just a theory. Someone get this guy a Nobel Prize, quick.
Hot feels hot when you put your hand in it.
Yeah, and you know
cold
that's
feels
hot.
cold.
When you touch a hot object, heat energy is transferred from that object through to your skin by a process called conduction. And the rate of heat transfer depends on the temperature difference between the object and your skin. So the warmer your skin is, the less hot that object will feel. Kind of. But I don't see the point in you bringing this up. Is this all leading up to you saying that the flat Earth is a fact? I do hope so.
Yeah, water does that. Any body of liquid you've ever come into contact with, larger than its surface area, must be contained, always finds its level. Fact.
Really? Well, watch this.
Alright, I'm going to do my best to pour this without spilling. Let's see if I'm going to do it right. There we go. And we have curved, bendy water. And here's a beautiful side view.
Fact, you agree?
Yeah.
It's a fact.
Well, I don't want to give all the credit to our side of the argument, but we just showed you that water doesn't always do what you just claimed it did. So, thanks to Average Glober, I was able to prove you false while I was making a video about you, which I generally do anyway, but I stole Average Glober's clip, so I'm giving him credit. Did I say stole? I meant borrowed.
So if I put a drip of water on this table...
Yes, in normal terms, like in a bathtub, in a cup,
Every term, every ink, oil, any liquid you've ever come into contact with your whole life has always, if it's larger than its surface area, been contained and will always find its level.
Clearly you've never seen a waterfall then, or a capillary tube. I guess they're both just fake, right? Like the illusion that the Earth is round. Clearly, gravity only applies when it's convenient.
Yeah. If it's smaller than the surface area, it will stay in one. If it's on a flat surface, it will stay in one space, bound by its own surface tension. Yeah.
Damn, I should have watched this video ahead, shouldn't I?
Except if there's gravity.
Yeah, but so what they've done to you there is they've got you to disregard your sense organs and what you know to be true.
Can you please stop using the word organ? I'm very childish. And all you're doing is what every other flat earther does. The guy said to you, but gravity explains that, or something along those lines. And your first response was, yeah, but how do you know? They told you, blah, blah, whatever.
In favour of this ideology.
So the ability to accept what mainstream science is able to teach us is an ideology, like communism or fascism. Oh, and while we're on that topic, don't worry, I'm not going to mention to anybody that you've got a giant swastika tattooed in the middle of your forehead.
Do you know what I'm saying? What are the chances, honestly, that every single body of water, liquid, or any liquid, let's say, conforms to a set group of metrics? Yeah, always does those things.
Okay, so we'll stick with using your own logic. So what are the chances that every astrophysicist is wrong?
What are the chances that the biggest body of liquid you've ever come into contact with, i.e. the ocean, somehow now operates in complete opposition to those metrics?
But it doesn't, and so far the only metric I've heard mentioned which would be relevant here is gravity. What, you think it isn't gravity that keeps the Earth's oceans where they need to be? No, actually, don't answer that. Of course you don't. You're a flat earther.
And we've been programmed.
I only know what I've been taught, right?
Exactly.
So,
and who taught us it?
School.
And
scientists.
Who pays for the curriculum?
The government.
Who pays for the government?
Well, it's funded by the money that working people in the UK contribute as tax. What's going on? Why are we suddenly talking about the government? Is this a part of your flat earth interview where you're going to start looking for people to blame for hiding the fact that the earth is actually flat?
So I'm saying there's an elite ruling class of people that run the show, yeah? We agree.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they educated you and me to disregard our sense organs in favour of what they told us.
Did they though? And stop saying organs. You were making it sound as if two black-suited men with dark glasses turn up at every house in the UK and order us to not believe that the Earth is flat. I mean, listen back to what you said. You sound like a nutcase.
And we now live in a reality that it's actually laughable. It's actually laughable.
No, when I called you a nutcase, I wasn't inviting you to prove it to me.
I get that the water argument, I get it. Like if I move this cup now, no matter, if we filled this room up, it would have to be contained within this room. Once it's full, it will level.
Has to do it, yeah.
It always levels, hence the spirit level.
Oh, exactly, thank you.
Spirit level, is it? Which is basically a tiny glass tube filled with liquid and a bubble of air. Gravity pulls the liquid down, and the bubble floats to the highest point. If the bubble's centered, boom, it's level. If it's not, well, something's a bit wonky. Much like you're thinking.
Hence the word sea level.
Sea level is 2 words. But primarily, sea level is about the average height of the ocean's surface, taking into account that some parts are higher or lower than others because of things like tides, which are caused by the gravitational pull of the moon, which causes regular changes in sea level throughout the day. So, sorry pal, it doesn't mean that it doesn't matter.
Not sea curve, sea sphere, sea level.
Special Officer Duty reporting.
I tell you what, I don't half get some use out of that clip.
Horizon is horizontal, isn't it? And horizontal is a sideways plane, isn't it?
Horizon comes from the Greek horizon, meaning bounding circle or limiting, referring to the apparent line where the earth and the sky meet. And horizontal is derived from the word horizon, plus the suffix tal, horizontal, meaning pertaining to or relating to. So horizontal means pertaining to the horizon or parallel to the horizon. Not a mention of flat anywhere, buddy. Sorry about that.
Normally,
Yeah, you've heard them talk about the spiritual plane and the earthly plane, and the word planet is plane et. Define the word plane in the dictionary. What's it mean?
But it's got nothing to do with the word plane. The word planet comes from the Greek word planetes. Sorry if you're Greek. Which is derived from the verb planao, meaning to wander or to roam. The full phrase was asteres planetae, which means wandering stars. Sounds to me like you think it means flat planet. And I just realised I don't mean, like, sorry if you're Greek, because if that's a bad thing, I meant my pronunciation of those Greek words.
I'd imagine. I've not looked at it, but I'd imagine the word flat's in there.
Yeah, so you ever gone on holiday in an aeroplane?
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? Not an aerosphere or an aerocurve. Do you know what I mean? If the guy goes up or down, your ears pop, don't they?
It's the change in atmospheric pressure that causes your ears to pop on an aeroplane. Oh, see that? Atmosphere, not atmo-flat.
But if you ever been to Australia for 25 hours, sat, totally flat.
It's not though, is it? Because as we've said a million times before, planes follow the curvature of the Earth because they're flying within Earth's atmosphere. Planes have to fight to stay in the air. Gravity is trying to force them down all the time.
If you were going across a f***ing sphere, you'd be gaining altitude and would have to dip the nose all the time. You'd have to just keep it dipped to fly around it, flying at the speed they're going. Do you know what I mean?
No, I don't know what you mean, because you're completely off your rocker. That's not how flights work. Ask a pilot. They follow great circle routes, not stupid flat routes.
I'm just trying to think, because my missus has flown yesterday and I was tracking her on the flight apps if you can.
Why are you agreeing with him? Because we've only got those apps that allow us to track flights because we know that the Earth is a sphere and we are able to predict. You just agreed with something you should have disagreed with, you clown.
And she's flown from London to west coast of America.
Yeah.
And the flight plan doesn't go straight though.
Exactly, because planes follow great circle routes. This stuff is so easy to find out.
No. I showed you it now. It's going up, over Iceland, over Greenland, back down.
Do you know what it is?
He probably does, yeah. It's you are the one who's saying that it's wrong, even though every single flight that ever happens follows these great circle routes.
So if you take, the map that we've been given is true, yeah? You can use longitude and latitude to find points on a map. Yeah, which is like, okay, that works.
And it works because we know that the Earth is a sphere, and as such, we are able to very easily predict things like distances from point A to point B, or a position on the globe. Flat Earth can't do any of these things without lying.
So the only thing they've done is they've, the way of displaying the information has been changed, yeah? So really, in reality, north is the center of the vortex, yeah? Is the center of the torus field. Mm-hmm. And then south is the circumference, yeah?
No, because for that to be true, that would mean that south is in every direction around you, which is completely ridiculous. If any of what you were saying was true, nobody would ever be able to find their way to anywhere, because GPS wouldn't work. You do know what GPS stands for, don't you? Global Positioning System. I think I best double check that. Yeah. Global Positioning System.
So the latitude lines are like rings of a tree.
Yep.
And the longitude lines are like spokes on a bicycle.
What? Latitude lines are like the rings on a tree that tell us how far north or south we are. Yeah, because trees always grow sideways. And longitude lines are like bicycle spokes. I'm not sure which is the stupidest, but you think that they connect the north and south poles. Well, yeah, the Earth is obviously a giant bicycle wheel then, isn't it? Spinning through space. I think this guy must have a PhD in, well, something. Maybe interpretive dance? Because his understanding of geography is certainly creative.
Yeah, and they're the exact same longitude and latitude lines that you see when you see a map on the wall and they go down and across.
Yeah.
Yeah, that works the same. The UK is on longitude, latitude, whatever number and degree. Yeah, but if you then take that and then you collect the top of all those longitude lines, so they spoke out, and then the latitude lines would naturally then become the lines of a tree.
Yeah.
That's actually the same map that the military use, and like a sonar map. That's the true model of the reality. Like, it makes total rational sense.
No, it doesn't, pal. Nothing you've said is rational or makes sense. I'm sorry, but I cannot subject myself to any more of this clown for today. Now, there's a lot more to this video, and I will carry on looking through it if you want me to, but let's see how many views this one gets first, is it? Don't forget, if you want to submit a video like Chris did with today's, you can head down to the form in the description, fill it in, I'll have a look at it, and if I can do something with it, I will. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you again on Wednesday. Love you, bye.
I don't think so. No, 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 no.
So, Sherlock Holmes and Watson are out chasing some dastardly villain across the countryside. And as the sun sets, they realise they're going to have to set up camp for the night. A little bit later, Holmes stirs and wakes Watson. Watson asks, "What is it? What's the matter, Holmes? Look up to the heavens, Watson, and tell me what you can deduce from it." It's a clear night, and the stars are clearly visible in all their glory. Watson ponders this for a moment and says, "I can see the vastness of creation, with each star and planet all moving with precision along their proper course. This makes me feel very small. But then I remember the gospel, and I remember that in all this vastness, God, in his grace, still thinks even of me, Watson, a microscopic speck orbiting a tiny point of light in the cold, black darkness of space. Why, what do you glean from it, Mr. Holmes?" Holmes thinks for a moment, and as he sits up and lights his pipe, he turns to Watson and says, "Somebody's stolen our tent."